What a guan, what a guan, what a guan. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Got a great show planned for you guys today. Great show. Great show planned for you guys today. So, how's everybody doing here on this fine Hump Day Wednesday? Hump Day Wednesday. Hope everybody is doing pretty good. I'm wearing black in honor of the Batman tonight, representing that black. Shout out to Igwe's daughter. Hello, hello. Skincare do's and don'ts. Hello to the positive therapist as well. So, we're going to be talking about the Batman. Batman fit. Can you look like the Batman? Do you want to look like the Batman, or maybe your significant other? Yeah, it's just interesting. Batman movie is out. I've seen it. Great movie. Great movie. Personally, I think it's the best Batman movie yet. I know. Better than the Christian Bale Batman movies. High praise. I know. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about what we're discussing here today. Let me know of any other show ideas you'd like me to cover. And, later on after the monologue, you guys can call in. Don't be shy. I mean, you can always turn off your camera. So, can everyone look like the Batman, right? Is it safe to do so? The answers to these questions are definitely going to surprise you. Definitely going to surprise you. Then a couple of years ago, Pattinson was announced that he had won the role to Batman, right? And a lot of people were concerned, myself included. Didn't strike me as the action hero type of guy, to be honest. Then, got even more nervous when he publicly said in a GQ interview, I think it was 2020, that he wasn't interested in working out for the film. I was like, it's going to be a wimpy Batman, right? I mean, the guy is slim, but didn't look like a Batman type kind of guy, right? And he had previously also criticized Hollywood for, expecting the male actors to transform for these action roles, let's say. Some of these transformations, you wonder how realistic they are and whether they had any pharmaceutical aids, let's say. And he wasn't into that. Now, before we get into the how he transformed, in the Batman comics, Batman usually looks pretty jacked. But would Batman look jacked in real life? Would he be that buff? I mean, what do real life badass fighters even look like? So let's actually see what Batman historically has actually looked like in the comic books, right? I mean, for those of you who probably, we're all adults, so you probably haven't seen Batman, the comic book, in a while. But then again, maybe some of you have. Let me not judge. So this is what Batman looks like. He looks jacked. He looks swole. I mean, look at those shoulders, man. Yeah, I wish I had shoulders like that, right? He is jacked. Look at those biceps, man. Huge biceps. Chest, huge ass chest, right? Huge chest. And the six-pack abs. Look at his quads, rippling quad muscles as well. Batman's muscles have muscles. Right? He's no joke. Shredded. But what do real fighters look like in real life? Let's look at some boxing champs, right? Manny Pacquiao, Tyson Fury. These are world champs, world. The world is a pretty big place. World champs, right? They look pretty fit, muscles, but they don't look like Batman, right? They don't look that jacked. Floyd Mayweather. And these are guys who'll knock your ass out, or anybody else for that matter, right? They look pretty normal, for lack of a better word, right? I mean, physically fit, don't get me wrong, but they don't look like Batman, right? Let's look at some other champs here, different weight classes, right? Lightweight, super featherweight, featherweight. These are lighter gentlemen. Let's look at bigger, again, muscular, but not jack, not like, damn, look at that guy. Not like that, right? But these guys are world-class fighters. They'll knock your ass out, right? What about UFC? Conor McGregor, Anderson Silva. Legend. These are legends in UFC, right? Some of the baddest dudes on the planet. These are some of these guys. I mean, they're muscular for sure, but they don't look like Batman. Let's go back to what Batman looks like. This is Batman. Batman looks like he could destroy the UFC fighters, right? Again, some of these guys look relatively normal, for lack of a better word. Again, not jacked. Because in real life, just think about the martial arts movies you've seen. Like, how many martial arts guys look jacked? They need speed, bob and weave, move around, athleticism, flexibility. Batman's doing all kind of crazy stuff, right? You can't be muscle bound and slow. Got to be nimble, agile, dodging weapons, projectiles, all kinds of things, right? And these are real life people. These are the best in the world. Elite genetics, full-time job, personal trainers, chefs, multi-million-dollar athletes, right? This is the creme de la creme. Can't get any better than this, right? Now, for those of you who are really into comics, you probably remember Batman Year One, classic comic book, right? Classic comic. There's some other jacked pictures of Batman. This is Batman Year One. Came out in 1987 by Frank Miller, right? In that, Batman looks like more like those boxers and UFC guys, more normal looking. This is him here, right? Normal. It's not crazy looking, right? Not crazy looking at all. As in crazy jacked is what I mean, right? So what did Robert Pattinson look like for this role? This is him here. Remember, again, he's naturally slim guy anyway, or maybe just works out to be slim. So this is him here, right? Training. Look at him. He's like 14, 15, 16% body fat. Let's call it 15, 16% body fat, right? Some more zoomed in pictures of him here. Here's another picture of him here like this, right? So this is a man who's paid millions of dollars by the studios, right? He's already a slim guy. He had 2 years to prep for this stuff. Personal trainers, nutritionists, everything is planned for this guy. This is full-time job. Doesn't got a 9 to 5. Doesn't miss cardio days because he's tired. He's got to pick up the kids. Full-time role, just like those other people showed you, right? This is the best he could do. And this is prep for these shirtless scenes, right? He talks about starving, sipping, counting his sips of water. Let me say that again. He was counting his sips of water. That's some serious stuff right there. Can you imagine you're thirsty from your training, doing these roles, and you're counting sips? Not gulps, sips. Like sip, sip. You know, like you watch those movies where the hero or the bad guy is stuck in the desert and they're like sipping the gun. That's some serious stuff, man. This is what he could do, right? Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And again, he's got good genetics, got a slim waist, right? You can see here, he's got a slim waist, right? Not a chubby dude. Obviously not a fat guy. No, he's not. Not at all. So here are some examples of body fat percentages, right? He's around here in this range, 15, 16. That's where I am at personally. The lowest I've ever got to was around here, per the DEXA scan. So that's what the machine said, and I looked like that. But it's hard to maintain that, man. It took me about 2 years to get down to that. And I started above here, somewhere between here and here. Yeah, like kind of in the middle of here. So anyway, so he had 2 years and he started out not fat, right? And he got down to this, sipping. So that's something to consider. Let's keep that in mind, right? Keep that in the back of your head. Keep that in the back of your head. Keep that in the back of your head. So again, let's bring those percentages up right there. So can you guys see those? Okay, so it seems as if struggle streaming already. When you share pictures or share tabs, you got to share each individual tab. Okay, so you guys are still stuck on seeing the Batman picture. Okay, got it. This is when you're not looking at the chat, right? So we will share again. Struggle streaming already, guys. So we got to go to the next tab, tab number 2, numero dos. Numero dos. So here I was showing the boxing champs, what they look like. So now you can actually see this, right? Let's double check. Yes, you can. Perfect. Note to self, always double check with the sharing of screens. Struggle streaming already. As my guy TLA likes to say, struggle streaming. So here, again, with the boxes, right? Normal, muscular guys, but not jacked, not Batman jacked, right? And these, again, world championship, world-class boxers. Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, Klitschko, you know, Tyson, baddest man on the planet at one point in time, right? You see how these guys look? They don't look crazy jacked. They don't look Batman jacked, as I said before, right? Normal looking, relatively speaking, but you know what I mean when I say normal looking, not Batman jacked. So let's share, share the next picture. This is the first time I'm actually sharing a whole bunch of pictures. Got to figure out a better way to do this next time. So we did the boxers. Let's look for the UFC guys. They were here. Where are they? UFC's right after the boxing champs. Here we go. UFC guys. Okay. So UFC guys, right? Again, best on the planet, multi-million-dollar athletes, elite genetics, world-class genetics, personal trainers, don't miss cardio day, nutritionists, muscular, they look more jacked than the boxers, but again, not Batman jacked, right? Pretty impressive, but not Batman jacked. So let's look at the next set of pictures, right? Let's look at the next set of pictures. I think next time what I'll do is just put this in a slide deck. That'll be a hell of a lot quicker, I think. Then going tab to tab. Note to self. So Batman Year One. This was the comic book I said came out in 1987, right? So you notice he looks more normal. He looks more like the boxer type / UFC types, right? You know, more realistic, let's say, versus Batman jacked, right? Now let's look at Pattinson, see what he looks like. To me, he looks more like Batman Year One, not jacked Batman. Here he is. Again, like I said, naturally good genetics with a slim waist. Zoom in on this. Again, he's like 15-16% body fat, right? I'll show you a chart just to show you what I'm talking about, the different body fat percentages. So you can get an idea of where he is, potentially where you could be, or your significant other could be, right? So like I was saying earlier, I'm around here, 15% body fat right now. I've gotten as low as here, like 10.8 or 11, something like that. And I started up around somewhere between here and here. It was like 35 Officially, I think it was 34, but I was, fatter than that before I got checked. Anyway, that took about 2 years. He had 2 years to train as well, but of course he was slim, not fat. And I don't think he was skinny fat either. So we got a pretty good idea of what these guys look like, right? Because again, like I said, you got to move around, bob and weave, do all this Batman-y stuff, right? So yeah. Now, one of the things he had said is he didn't want to use steroids, right? He's kind of, I don't know, throwing shade at some of the other Hollywood actors, them having to do that. And, none of this stuff about gain 30 pounds of muscle in a couple of weeks craziness, right? And to me, he looks like he didn't use steroids, essentially, right? He looks normal, right? It's achievable. Hard to do, but it's achievable, right? And, it's interesting. Greg Duchette, IFBB Pro, really good YouTuber. He said some similar things, right? Shout out to Greg Duchette. Because he talks about Pattinson essentially like starving himself, severe dehydration, right? Let me bring that up as well for you guys. To show you that. Yeah, it was some interesting stuff he had to say on the topic in typical Greg Duchette fashion, right? This is him. Hilarious guy. Hilarious guy. So he talks about, what Pattinson did, right? Or refused to do. And boring meals. Pattinson didn't want to see another piece of boiled whitefish. Yeah. He was not so happy with the diet. He was not so happy with the diet, right? He did say he enjoyed the training eventually. I think it was after like 6 weeks or something like that, getting into it, because he had serious prep for like 3 months, right, leading up to those roles. And again, remember the shirtless scene, he's really prepping for the shirtless scene. He was counting his sips of water. Counting his sips of water. That's serious. But hey, they're paying you millions of dollars, right? So got to do what you got to do. So he said he wasn't doing steroids, right? Wasn't doing steroids at all. I mean, those things can be dangerous, obviously, right? And he looks pretty good. Now, another gentleman, another YouTuber, another big YouTuber, More Plates for Dates. Now, that is an awesome name. More Plates for Dates. I think all the men in the audience can understand that. Actually, the woman can probably understand that too. But that's a great name. It's like Curls for Girls, right? More plates, more dates. Yeah, that's an awesome. A gentleman named Derek. He has a good YouTube channel, is right. He brought up an interesting question, let's say. He was like, should Pattinson just have gone on steroids, right? Should he have taken that kind of stuff? And or some like hormone replacement therapy type stuff. Now, the interesting thing there is he pointed out that natural people, as in people who are not taking steroids, when they do extreme lean cutting stuff, it can severely or adversely affect their physique, right? Or their body, rather, not their physique. Their testosterone levels can plummet, messing up their thyroid potentially. Like he gave an example showing real lab works of a guy, a natural bodybuilder who cut for a show and his testosterone levels plummeted, became almost hypogonadal. That's when, you're almost like erectile dysfunction levels, basically. Thyroid was kind of messed up, like almost hypothyroid. There was other bad labs as well. But one thing I disagree with here with Derek is that that's from extreme dieting. That's not like regular diet. That's cutting to get on stage, right? And I don't think Pattinson was down to that level. I don't think so. So plus, once you get on that stuff, hormone replacement therapy or whatever, you can't get off of that. That's like permanent, right? So that's, and again, he looks pretty good doing what he did. So that's the one thing I disagree with on that, with more plates, more dates. I don't think he needed to. And as I explained before, real life Batman isn't going to look like comic book Jack Batman, but more like Batman Year One Batman. So again, yeah, it's interesting. So though, how did Pattinson actually get in shape for the role, right? How did he do that? How did he do that? And this is this something you can do, right? There is some special, fantastical stuff because one of the problems with these Hollywood stories is like they sell all this hype. Oh, you want to look like this guy or that guy? Follow this magic program, and you too can look like him. No, nonsense, right? And in like 8 weeks or some foolishness, total foolishness, total rubbish, total nonsense, right? So how did he get in shape? The indoor work, the gym work, focus on like cardio, a lot of body weight stuff. I showed you some of the outdoor pictures and weightlifting circuits, like supersets, drop sets, stuff like that. So supersets, say you do set a bench press like flat, then you switch to incline, maybe dumbbells, or say you do regular curls, then you switch to hammer curls, things like that. And outdoor stuff, you saw like the sandbag working out, run with the sandbag, military style stuff. Went on long runs, 3 to 6 mile runs a couple of times a week to build up the cardio and the endurance. Again, Batman in real life doesn't just look good. He has to be able to move around and fight, right? And boxers or any kind of fighter, they have great stamina, similar to dancers, incredible stamina. If you ever try to do shadow boxing by yourself for like a minute or 2 minutes, you would be exhausted, right? Worse, if you think of somebody's actually trying to punch you, heart rate go up. Yeah. You could be gassed very easily. So you need great fitness. You did a lot of boxing, ironically, as well, which can improve cardio and build upper body strength as well. Lots of protein as far as the nutrition of the diet goes, naturally. I mean, you guys have heard me say it before, right? Got to get that protein. And the standard thing is 1 gram per pound of body weight, right? You can figure out the carbs and fat depending on what you're doing. High carb or high fat with the keto. It depends on what you're doing. As in high carb, like a bodybuilder style, or low carb, high fat keto is what I mean. And, he also cut back on alcohol and processed meat and fried food. Now, the alcohol is a big thing, right? Because I've said in other shows before, alcohol, that wreaks havoc on you, right? If you're trying to transform and lose weight, not telling you to just cut out all alcohol, but it definitely does inhibit things for a variety of reasons. It just reduces metabolism. It makes you more likely to store fat, harder to burn the fat. It's essentially a poison your body's going to clear it out before it deals with the other food that you just ate. And, you drink alcohol, you get the munchies, you want to eat. The list goes on and on. Anyway, I've done other shows on that, but maybe I'll come back to an alcohol specific show. And now, a funny thing with the diet, I touched on this, or Greg Doucette also mentioned in his video, and it's something I tell people all the time. The way I explain it, if whatever you're doing today, food-wise, if a year from now you can't be eating the same thing, then it's a nonsensical diet. Because it's just short term, right? It's not, you got to make a lifestyle change. It's got to be something 2-5 years from now you can be eating. So if you say, I'll never eat pizza again, or I'll never drink again, is that realistic? Is that your lifetime diet? Yeah. So Pattinson said he was sick and tired of the food, man. He never wants to see whitefish again. The meal sounded terribly boring. Just plain whitefish with the lemon on top of it. And yeah, he ate bland oatmeal. And when I eat my oatmeal, I got to throw blueberries, blackberries in there, stuff like give it some flavor, right? He just ate the oatmeal bland. I mean, I could do that too, but I'd rather not. He did like the working out. Like I mentioned earlier, he did get into that, right? So my key takeaways here, right, is if you want to change, look like Batman or what have you, you got to make a lifestyle change. Find a diet you can maintain. And no one can live on plain whitefish for the rest of your life. And then find exercises you like. Yeah, lifting weights is great. It's very effective. But if you hate going to the gym, do something else. I don't know. You want to play tennis, basketball, what have you, run, go on a bike, whatever, body weight exercises. You can still look pretty good with just those things, People have been working out for centuries, right? Doing a variety of things. There are so many things that you can do. Variety of things. So what are the odds of you actually looking like this guy? I'm not going to lie. It's going to be difficult. There are a lot of guys busting their ass in the gym who can't look like him, right? And as I've said before, the things that hold a lot of people back, the politically correct thing to say is lack of knowledge and their ego, let's say, or lack of knowledge and pride. They're not sure what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. Pride, they don't want to ask. But the real thing is what held me back and what's holding you back probably is ignorance and arrogance. You don't know what you're doing. What some of the stuff you think you know is wrong, and you don't know what you don't know. And then you're too arrogant to ask for help. You don't ask that guy for help in the gym, that lady over there who looks great. You don't ask her for help either, right? Don't get yourself a trainer. You think you can just figure it out on your own? I mean, if you spend enough hours, yeah, you can. But, you know, what's that old saying, no man is an island? I mean, all the great coaches I've ever met, somebody taught them. I interviewed one, right? Great celebrity trainer who was taught by another trainer. And he talked about so many trainers in his line of people he's worked with. You always got to seek other people out, right? So that's a big thing. And he does have good genetics. So, I mean, if you're willing to really bust your ass and not believe the nonsensical transformation stories of 3 and 6 months and whatever, you could look like him, but you got to be realistic there, right? You know, if you're trying to look like Captain America or a comic book Batman, it's probably not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen. I mean, how many people do you see walking around looking like that? Not many. You can't count the Instagram people because that's a minority of a minority of a minority of a minority, right? Pre-Instagram, you couldn't find these people. They existed, but Instagram makes it seem like they're everywhere. They're not. They're not everywhere, right? Pretty difficult. Can be done, but I'm talking looking like Pattinson. This is that Batman. It's possible for sure. That is possible, but pretty difficult. Can be pretty difficult. You definitely have to put in the work, be meticulous, and have a good plan, right? And not fall off the wagon. And or if you do, get back on. Let me not say not fall off. I fell off. Everybody falls off at some point in time. So curious to know what you guys think, right? Let me drop the link to the show as well so you guys can actually call into the show. All right, let me do that. And I'll see what you guys are going on with in the chat. Let me copy that link, drop that link in there. Again, don't be shy for you ladies who need to do your hair. For the men, I assume you don't need to do your hair. Don't be shy there. Right? Do not be shy. And hey, if you're liking the stuff, hit that like and subscribe button, right? I think we do have a bunch of people here in the chat. So let's see who else joined since I've started. Yaya Super. Welcome, Yaya Super, to the show. You're new to the show. Welcome. Shout out to Back in Time Photo. Hello. Yes, I agree. I agree. Best Pattinson so far. Yes, I agree 100%. 100% I agree with you. Now, Back in Time Photo is a great photographer. Great photographer. Hey, man, you should call into the show. You know, you can put your Instagram and all this other kind of stuff up here. He's taking some photos of me. That's why I know he's a great photographer. Great photographer. Welcome to the show. See, who else do we have that's coming here? Rain. Hello, Rain. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Who else we got in here? First time people, or people I haven't seen in a while at anyway. Nice, nice. Okay, okay. Yeah, very Jack. Riddle me this, riddle me that. Can you look like the bat? Please tell us. Nice with a positive therapist. Well, yeah, I guess I answered this one during. You can, but it's pretty difficult. Not gonna lie, it's pretty difficult, right? It's not impossible, like I said, not impossible, but it will be pretty difficult. I'm not gonna, blow smoke up. You know what? Tell you it's easy to do. Yep, yeah, super agrees. Very good movie. Excellent movie. Highly recommend you guys watch that movie. I mean, best Batman. I'm gonna go see it again. Best Batman in my opinion so far. I was pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised. Let's see. Batman is hot. Igwe's daughter. Yes, he does look hot. Yes, UFC guys are no joke. I agree, positive therapist. I agree. I agree 100%. Rain said, Pattinson mentioned he struggled with building himself. He looked great, in my opinion. Yes, he did. He did. He did. I mean, yeah, like I said, his transformation is definitely not drastic from where he started. I really do believe, and especially how he ended up looking with all the prep, etc., that he didn't use any pharmaceutical aids, let's say. And yeah, it's hard. It's definitely hard to diet and transform yourself. Rian also says, I prefer a less bulky Batman. Yeah, I think this is probably surprising to some guys, right? Or maybe a lot of guys, that ladies don't like when the guy is too jacked. I think it was one of my coaches, he told me this. There's a certain level of muscle and leanness that if a guy gets to that, the typical lady is just not into that. Either they're too muscular or they're too lean, let's say. Probably some genetics, because if we're all stuck on a desert island, that guy with a single-digit body fat, he's probably not going to last, right? Doesn't have enough fat to survive, to live on. Okay. Positive there. We're living in the virtual world. Yes, that is true. That is true. Yeah, Suba. Yeah, he looks really regular. That's a great way of putting it. I like that. He looks regular. He looks regular. That is true. Yes, Tyson was a boxing superhero in the ring. Oh yeah. I think his title was Baddest Man on the Planet or something. I mean, if you could look like Tyson, that would look great. And he doesn't look anything close to, comic book jacked Batman, right? Just as I was saying this, Igwe's daughter, too jacked is a turnoff. It's scary to me. D.I. Grifter, welcome to the show. I believe that he did it natural because he didn't have that Marvel swollen chisel look. Exactly. Exactly. He did not have that swollen chiseled look. You're right. That is true. That is true. Yes, everyone falls off. Don't beat yourself up when you do. Positive therapist. Just get back up and start again. You're only human and no one is perfect. Yes, I agree. I agree. That's one of the things I liked about. Yeah, he exceeded my expectations on so many levels, right? I liked his interviews. It didn't seem like the stereotypical stuff. Well, chicken and broccoli, and I trained 2-3 times a day, and I was eating 6,000 calories, and I just transformed like poof into this muscular, swollen, chiseled dude overnight. He didn't say anything like that, right? And he didn't look like that, or doesn't look like that. So it's very, very believable and real. I mean, somebody said this, right? Very believable and real. So again, if you put in the effort and you know what you're doing, or you get yourself a trainer or a coach, then yeah, it's doable. It's definitely doable. You know what I mean? Yes, yeah, Super. What up, bro? Yes, I agree with that. Welcome to the show, Wizimano. Hello. Famous people all the time do crazy and intense transformations in the short amount of time for roles in the movies or play, etc. Yes, we're talking about that. And when it's crazy and intense in a very short period of time. So first things first, a lot of these actors and actresses, they have elite genetics, right? They're good looking and their bodies are good looking before the transformation. Millions of dollars are being spent on these people. They have trainers, plural, nutritionists, cooks, chefs, everything is laid out and done for them, right? It's a full-time job. They don't have to get up and go to an office, go to a plant, what have you. Looking good is their profession. So, and then of course, there's the elephant in the room where are they taking performance enhancing drugs, steroids as well to help with these crazy transformations? Maybe, maybe not. So, you got to weigh that when you're trying to look like me. And I got this great piece of advice from one of my coaches. He said, if I keep comparing myself to bodybuilders, I will be unhappy. And it's so true. You can look better than 99% of the people out there and don't look like somebody who appears on the cover of a magazine, right? Whether you're a guy or a girl, you can look great. You can just be the best you can be in essence. If you look 50% better than you do now, that's dramatic improvement. And Jake, I know bodybuilders look scary. Yeah, they're pretty big, right? There's some pretty big dudes in my gym. They're actually pretty nice, though. They're not scary in real life, but I could see somebody saying they look scary. Yeah. Yeah, I'm used to seeing a lot of very muscular guys, funnily enough. Way more muscular than me. Okay. Yaya asks, what's a livable body fat percentage is for a regular working guy? He thinks under 10% is probably hard to maintain. I think he's right. Yes, he is very right. That's a great question and comment. Let me bring back up that chart so you guys can see it. I think it's more real. It's very realistic if you can visualize it. I know some of you don't walk around seeing people who look like this a lot. Depending on where you live, I don't know what gyms you go to, etc., 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 right? But it's very I can't say very enough. Very difficult to walk around below 10% body fat. Very difficult. I mean, when I was 10%, I was working out 6 times a week. I do 5 or 6 now. And I was very religious with all my meals. I was not playing around. Was I even doing alcohol? I think I might have been none or hardly any. I counted, well, I still count everything, but I mean, I was hardcore. That's what I'm trying to say, right? And again, if you win the genetic lottery, I mean, everybody knows people. I got a friend, he came on the show the other day, Robert. When he was seriously training, dude had a perfect looking six pack. Looks way better than Pattinson. Six pack looking like this or something. Dude just won the genetic lottery, Robert did, right? So he's got perfect 6-pack abs, right? When he works out and eats clean. So if you're that lucky, then yeah. But for most, a regular person walking around, trying to walk around looking like this, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. Just ask yourself, how many people do you personally know that look like this? Just personally. Not some random person you see on TV or Instagram. Somebody you personally know. How many of those people? Not much. Let's expand it to people you just see regularly that looks like this. Like a regular person. Again, not on TV or Instagram. Not many. And when you do, either they have great genetics, they're living super duper clean, and or they're getting pharmaceutical aids to look like this, especially when they're pretty muscular, right? So, yeah. Great question. Great question, great comment, right? Let's see. This is a great comment by Skincare Do's and Don'ts. Most of the guys who look like that are always willing to offer advice or help people. That is so true. I've gotten so much advice from men and women who look awesome in the gym. Tons of free advice, tons of help. Them watching me with my exercise form, telling me things I did not know. I owe a lot of these people, because if you think about it, right? Those people who look fantastic in the gym probably know what they're doing. It's a passion for them. And most people are willing to talk about stuff they're passionate about, whatever that is. If you're into plants, orchids, I don't know, you collect stamps, you meet someone who does that too, then most likely they'll talk about that stuff with you, and they'll probably help you, guide you along. And if you take their advice, then they're even more motivated to help you down the road, right? So I got a lot of good help from guys like that, and some ladies, right? So yeah, if you ask, people will help you for sure. If you ask, people will help you. Definitely. That's a great point, right? Great point. So again, let me drop the link for any of you guys who want to call in, call up. Don't be shy. I think I've gotten a couple guys to call in, but it's usually the ladies. It's funny. One thing I've noticed with YouTube, I swear ladies are way less shy than the men. I never realized this because anytime I go to other YouTube guys watch shows, it's always the ladies in the chat and the ladies calling up. I swear. I don't know if this is just a anecdotal. It's not statistically proven or something like that. But this is what I feel is what I notice is happening, right? So again, this is Pattinson here. Looks pretty good. Again, not Batman Jack though, right? So yeah. And I think earlier you guys probably weren't seeing that other picture when I show you those other two YouTube channels that did shows on it. Let me see if I can show that to you. Because it was when I was struggle streaming. I love that phrase from the lead attorney. He has a great show on YouTube, by the way, the lead attorney. You guys should check him out. He doesn't need my help. He has over 150,000 subscribers, but I liked his show before. I liked the stuff he was doing, which is like coaching program and stuff. I guess I was a fan first. How about that? I was a fan first. Where is that? But yeah, you can get really good advice from people. But a lot of people are shy, thinking, I don't want to bother that guy. He looks so serious and he's muscular. Or that lady, if I talk to her, she's going to think I'm hitting on her. Just say, hey, I've never had anybody, no matter how pretty the lady was, thinking, I don't know, maybe they thought it, but I've never had them not help me. Not even one time. Not even one time. No matter how hot the lady looked, if I said, hey, why are you doing that exercise? Or what is that called? And I guess I can tell that's all I wanted to ask them, basically, right? So they were willing to tell me that. So here was that show, More Plates, More Date. Great YouTube name. So yeah. Oh, we got a super chat. First super chat of the night. Yaya Super. Shout out to Yaya Super. Thanks a lot, Yaya. I really appreciate it. I know it's your hard-earned money, so thanks for giving that to me. I appreciate it. Good show tonight, bro. Here from TLA. Ah, nice. I already know TLA. Hitting the bed, but we'll be back for muscle building tips. Can't stop my beer, though, for real. I hear you. I personally myself love sweet red wine. That is my Achilles heel as far as alcohol goes. Anyway, my real Achilles heel is fruit, cherries, and grapes. But we all have our Achilles heel, right? But yeah, come back. There are definitely tips you can do. If you watch my video about how to vacation and not gain weight, I gave you tips about how to minimize the damage from alcohol. So for those of you, yeah, with the whole alcohol thing, watch that show. It's how to go on vacation and not get fat, basically. There's a section in there that talks about the whole alcohol thing, lots of tips. One of them I can recap real fast is, if you got to choose between the eating and the drinking, pick one or the other. Don't drink the beer and eat the wings with it or cake, right? Do one or the other. Pick a struggle. Pick a struggle. There's that. Okay, here is one question. What are the repercussions of transforming so quickly? By quickly, I assume you mean those other people, because his transformation was not rapid, let's say. He had been training on and off for 2 years, but really ramped things up the last 3 months. Now, as a result, if he was more consistent with it, he wouldn't have needed to gotten down to the sipping water and those kinds of things, right? Or the super duper strict diet with the whitefish. Even I never got to that level. Actually, I've never gotten to that level. I've always found a way to find healthy things that taste good. Because if you try to eat, like I remember my coach wanted me to eat the skinless chicken breast, and I'm like, that's crap, tastes awful. Yeah, I can't do that. So I think I discovered skinless thighs. That is great, almost as good as the thighs with the skin, and very low fat, right? So I love skinless thighs. So the repercussions is you can mess up your metabolism. I gave the example earlier that More Plates, More Dates gave, but again, that was extreme cutting. So that's not for most people. That's somebody stepping on a stage. They're talking extreme cutting, extreme cutting, right? But transforming so quickly, you can lose muscle, That's one thing you can do if you're just losing too much weight too fast. And anything more than 2 pounds a week is considered extreme weight loss over an extended period of time. But you can definitely mess yourself up. So let's say you lost 10 pounds. I don't know, let's say you lost 20 pounds, right? And 2 to 5 of those pounds are muscle because you're dieting, starving yourself. When you stop dieting and go back to the old you know what's going to happen? It's going to put back on the weight, all 20 pounds, except now it's all fat, 100% fat. So you're worse off than before because you went crazy with this extreme transformation, right? So all these things about, I know these people are great at marketing, right? They know what buttons to press to control you. Oh, you can lose 30 pounds in 30 days. Yeah, you can, but you can pay a price for that, right? You're going to pay a price for that. Guaranteed you're going to pay for it. If it was so easy, everybody would do it. We would all do it. I would do it. I'd be the first person to recommend to do that stuff. Who wouldn't want to lose 30 pounds in 30 days, right? So there's a price to pay. We saw it with Fat Girl Fed Up as well. She was an extreme case, but, you know, it was organ failures, kidney failures, all kinds of stuff. She was hospitalized. That's pretty serious. That's usually when you're going to, on your way out to pass away, all right? Or the example, again, this guy wrecked his testosterone, his thyroid was messed up as well. Yeah, the extreme transformers so quickly is bad. So as soon as that scene was over, he pretty much is not going to look like what you see on the screen, right? This being Pattinson. That's as good as he looked for the movie. Without me giving anything away in the movie, spoiling anything, because he can only, there's no more, he took off his shirt. There's no other more, nothing else more he can show, right? I don't think it's an X-rated movie. I think it's like PG-13 or something. But anyway, so that's as lean as he could get prepping for that scene, for that specific scene, or any of the scenes in there that are shirtless. But most likely they would fill them all together, right? Because he's probably like, look, man, I ain't suffering 2 or 3 times for filming. Let's do the scene one time or all the shirtless scenes one time, and we're good to go. So great question, Skincare Do's and Do. Oh, nice. We got a big super chat from the Positive Therapist. Thank you so much. I love that. Thank you. You're definitely the sponsor of the show so far. So we got this thing going, you know, biggest super chat gets sponsored the show for sure. So thank you so much. Great super chat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Another comment here, Positive Therapist. Most people are not comfortable sharing their weight loss in details, admitting that they too have lost then gain. Again, thanks for your honesty. Yes, yeah. Yeah, thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I tried to keep it real, you know. I tried to keep it real. Lost 65 pounds once, put it all the way back on. Transformed a second time. I lost 40 pounds of fat, gained 30 pounds of muscle. And again, I was pre-diabetic. Everything was messed up about me, for lack of a better word. And transformed. But I made a lifestyle change, right? Not some quick transformation thing. That's nothing good will come of that at all. Nothing good will come of that. B. Pauly. Welcome to the show, B. Pauly. They're from TLA. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of TLA as well, naturally. Welcome to the show. Just finished the workout. Oh man, you get another thing. And for those of you who don't know me, from Jamaica, and we love the reggae horn in Jamaica. So hence the reggae horn. I teased TLA to say that, you know, I'm Jamaican, that's why I'm using it, not copying him. But yeah, in all seriousness, we got the sessions in Jamaica, outdoor parties that you pay for, you can hear this kind of thing. And of course, at what you would call soccer in America and football everywhere else, you hear this horn being played for sure. Yes, B. Pauly, salute to Jamaica. Salute to you as well. I'm not sure if you're Jamaican or not, but yeah, salute to you as well. And welcome to the show. Let's see. Any other good questions here? Oh, yeah, skincare do's and don'ts with the shots tonight. I know I've gotten better advice from those guys than the trainers at LA Fitness. She's referring to people people in the gym willing to help you. That's true, because unfortunately, I don't know what's the percentage, but there's definitely a good amount of trainers at these big box gyms, and they're, to put this, they're just not that good. Yeah, I said it. They're just not that good, right? So it doesn't surprise me you've gotten better advice from guys that really look like they know what they're doing, that are just working out. And again, they have some financial incentive for these tips that they're giving you most of the time, right? So yeah, that does not surprise me at all. Positive therapist had something similar to say. I found most people in the gym are more than willing to help you. I've never had an issue receiving any assistance in the gym. Yeah, same for me. Like I said, even ladies have helped me, even very pretty women that, I was thinking, man, if I go try and talk to her, she probably think I'm going to hit on her. Because again, they usually wearing some cute outfits and stuff, but 100% success rate. They've always answered my question. This is even when I was fat. So it's not like I go, oh, he looks cute, I'll talk to him. No, even when I was fat, they still talk to me. They talk to me as well. Yeah. Yep. See a theme here. Most of them are way more knowledgeable than the trainers in conventional gym. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Yes, this is true. I was trying to be diplomatic here. But yeah, the ones that are good are good. And, it's kind of like massage therapists. What you'll find is good trainers, like good massage therapists, any of these professional types, they'll usually end up branching out on their own. They'll either start just working out of their house or some of these boutique gyms or one-off. They'll usually after a while leave. The good ones will just gradually leave these big box gyms and go into their own gyms, let's say. That's the thing. Yeah. So B. Pauly, what did you work out tonight? Yeah, you said you would just come back from the gym. So what was your workout? What did you do? What body part? Or was it just cardio, or you lift weights and cardio? Yes, let us know what you did. I'm curious to know. Yeah, you said you just come from the workout. So let us know, B. Pauly. Do not be shy. They can always come on the show too as well. Positive therapist, pick your calories or eating. Oh, yeah. This is the drinking alcohol or eating cake. Choose wise or what you're saying. Yep. You got to pick a struggle. Pick a struggle. You can't have your cake and eat it too, right? That's the age old saying. That's why they had sayings like this. You can't have your cake and eat it too. It's exactly what they're trying to say. So B. Pauly, home workout, calisthenics, pull-ups, push-up, dips, and squats. Also planks or warm. Yeah, man. Serious workout that. So B. Pauly's not joking. And you did it at home. So, one thing, so COVID, coronavirus is let us aware is that you don't have to go to the gym for workout, right? You don't have to go to the gym for look good. You can definitely work out at your house. I mean, if you, no equipment, push-ups. We can all get down on the push-ups, right? You're working your chest, and that actually does affect your breasts for you ladies out there. Think these things don't affect things. It can help make things more perky. And this is real. It's not, I'm not making that up. I've never met a woman who didn't want more perkiness there, right? You're working your triceps, also working your shoulders. Guys want broader shoulders. Women want guys with broader shoulders. Women want nice shoulders as well. Triceps. Working some of your back to some extent, your core as well. And if you do air squats like what B. Paul is talking about, that's hitting all the lower body, right? Quads, your butt, your glute area, right? Women love that. Guys want that. Women want guys to have that as well. Your whole lower body, your calves indirectly, some hamstring work, but mainly the quads, right? And you can vary the width of the squats, put your feet together closer, spread out. You can, experiment, hit different parts of the leg muscles as well. But yeah, man, that can kill you. You can crush yourself doing air squats and push-ups. That alone, right? One of my coaches had me do on non-chest days 100 push-ups. So funnily, I started doing push-ups again a couple of weeks ago, and I was surprised that I can just drop and crank out 30 straight easily, and it works, man. You can really feel the different muscles going. And then if you buy a pull-up bar and you put that, and for most of us, when we start pulling up, you can't do any. You can't do many, right? Because even though the first set, what can I do? Like 10 at the most, right? I remember I could only do like one, or I couldn't even do one when I first started those things, right? So, but that's okay. You jump on there and you pull as hard as you can, go as high up as you can, and you're working your back muscles, working your biceps as well, right? So that's a good thing. Skincare do's and don'ts with the super chat. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate all these super chats. Again, I know it's your guys' hard-earned money. Thank you very much. Home workouts alleviate all excuses to work out. Oh yeah, there was another reggae horn. Yeah, I mean, what you gonna say? You can do it anytime you feel like, right? In the morning, especially if you're working from home now because of the whole pandemic situation, right? I mean, what excuse you have? You can do it when you wake up, do it at lunchtime, right after work. Everything is there. Your gym clothes is there. The shower is there. The kitchen is there. You can have the TV going. You can watch my show while you're working out. I mean, hell, you can be doing your air squats and push-ups right now watching my show. So what excuse you have? None. This is probably the best comment of all for tonight. Home workouts alleviate all exercises to work out. All exercises. All exercises. I love this. Yeah, that's a great one. I'm definitely going to use this phrase for sure with clients. Welcome, Tamika. Welcome to the show. Tamika Funderwork. Air squats are the devil, I swear. Yes, they are. They're the devil. But if you want to look hot, you want to be, what's the phrase, a bad bee, then yeah. You got to get those air squats in, man. Come on, girl. You know they work that booty. Tone up that booty, right? So, yeah. I think you were talking about booty stuff the other day, right? So yeah, you want to maintain air squats, glute bridges. Yeah, you gotta get it in work. You know what else you can do too at home? That's the devil killer: lunges. People think you need weight to make lunges be hard. Let me see. Was he? Oh yeah, B. Paul also mentioned slow squats, pistols. Yes, slow squats. So go down. To make it really hard, you can go up slow as well, or you can go up and down pretty slow. You can also hold it, go down and hold. Now, pistol, I think you're talking about the one-legged ones. Yeah, no, that is higher level of order difficulty. So B. Pauly is very fit if B. Pauly is doing pistol squats. I assume he's talking the one-legged squats. So B. Pauly is a very fit dude, very fit dude. If you can do one-legged, that's a one-legged squat for who people don't know what that is. Yeah, so B. Paul is no joke at all. B. Paul is a serious brother. A very impressive brother to the one-legged squats. That just the balance to do that is difficult. The leg strength to go down on one leg is incredible. Yeah, let me say that again. Incredible. That's incredible. Lunges, and B. Paul talks about lunges as well. I just mentioned that. Lunges are great, right? And you can do them in the same spot. You don't have to walk down. You can put one leg forward, bring it back, put the next leg forward, bring it back. So you literally just need a space of 3 feet? You just need to go forward 2 to 3 feet. Yeah. Forward, back, no movement. You can do it in a bathroom. So what's the excuse? What excuse you have? You don't have no excuse. You ain't have no excuse, man. You don't have no excuse for not do the workout. B. Pauly says wall pistol squats are for beginners. That's a great solution, B. Pauly. Thank you. Wall pistol squats is a good one. Yeah, because the typical person can't just go do pistol squats. So this is a great. So leaning back against the wall, then go down. It's almost like for people who are trying to do the chair. They can't just go down and just squat and maintain. So again, with the air squats, if you can't just go down and stop for a static position, you can lean on the wall. Trust me, it will still hurt. It will still hurt. The rest assured, the easy version of these exercises are still very difficult. Very difficult. Right? You can be drenched in sweat. I'm sure B. Pauly was drenched in sweat, as fit as he is at the end of his workout. Nothing make you broke out in sweat like squats. That's why leg day is always the hardest days. I don't care what you're doing. And it's one of your biggest calorie burn days. So for those of you trying to lose weight, for those of you skipping leg days, oh yeah, I want to look lean and look good, so I'm going to do curls every day. No, that's not. Yeah, your arms will get big, but that's about it. Now, the famous saying is, awesome bodies are built in the squat rack. All right. Think about this. Have you ever seen somebody, male or female, squatting heavy who didn't look impressive? That is very rare to see. A man or a woman in the squat rack going down with something that you go, wow, that's impressive. They almost always look impressive, right? Almost always. It works everything, the squat. Great exercise. Works everything. Yes, skincare do's and don'ts agrees. B. Pauly, you fit. You're fit, not just fit. Yeah. You're fit if you're doing that. Yeah, I agree. Thanks, positive therapist, and then there will be tomorrow's workout. Yes. Yeah, that is it. So what's another good one? He says, handstand, hold, and wall are great for balance. Yes. Yeah. It's another good thing. Again, coordination required, but hey, baby steps for everybody, right? It's like for those of you who can't do the standard push-up, you can do it on your knees. I mean, kneel and then go down and come up. And there's nothing wrong with this. Especially if you're at home. Nobody can see you but you. You don't need to be embarrassed. It's only you is there. Or if you got other family members or friends or whatever, just go in the bathroom and do it there. Or go lock your bedroom door and do it there, right? So yeah, you can easily do that, all right? Easily do that. That is not a difficult thing to do at all. Oops. Yeah. So let's see, what other comments do we got going on in here? Leg days are killer. Yeah, everybody's talking about leg days. Yes. Leg days are the killer. Yes, it is so true. It's the most toughest day. And the hardest body parts to overtrain, or when you have overtrained them, I should say, that hurt the most are your legs. Definitely. Yeah, there you go, Tamika. Yes. Come on, B. Pauly. The ladies want to see you on the screen. Do not be shy. You should be all muscled up and, lathered up from your workout as well. So there you go. Come on, B. Pauly. The ladies demand you to call in. I just saw a good thing here. Yes, it's leg day. Yes, leg day is a beast, but it's worth when those legs are turning. Yep, that is true. People will appreciate a good set of legs. There's no doubt about it. B. Pauly asks, hey, what are good plant-based proteins to maintain mass? Well, good plant-based protein would be a good plant-based protein shake, I would say. So vegan diet is doable. It's definitely difficult, or more difficult than all of the other diets, right? But I mean, you have good plant-based protein powders, I would say. Whole Foods has some good ones. Again, I would Google like some kind of organic plant-based. I don't take them personally, but there are several good ones out there. I'm trying to remember, was it vegan one or something like that was a good brand. But if you Google this, organic, again, I always try to go organic with everything, right? That's generally speaking the safest thing to do, in my opinion, to go organic. But yeah, you want to generally, again, get about a gram per pound of body weight for protein. And that can be challenging when you're fully vegan, especially if you're not drinking shakes, right? For us, omnivores out there, or carnivore types, it's a hell of a lot easier to get enough protein in, right? So just eating purely, I don't know if you're vegan or not, B. Pauly, but if you're purely plant-based with everything, then that can be challenging if you're not doing shakes, right? You can just do a shake. Do it post-workout or pre-workout. Post-workout will be optimal, but pre-workout failing that. Or as an emergency meal, right? Skincare do's and don'ts. Tried Vega Protein and Garden of Light plant-based protein. Yes, Garden of Light. That's a good brand. Garden of Life is a good brand. And another good thing, with Whole Foods is when you buy things there, even they're back to this standard now where if you don't like something, you have a bad experience, you can carry it back, right? They will take it back. They will give you your money back or give you store credit. Whole Foods is the only place I know of that I've bought things, try them, get like halfway through the container and it doesn't agree with my stomach. I don't like it. I was like, I don't like this. And I carry it back and take it back. No questions asked. I don't have no receipt or nothing. They just give me store credit. So I've had great experience with Whole Foods. I know they're not a sponsor of this video. They probably should be. I need to do a video on Whole Foods, like one of those shopping videos or something. Okay. B. Pauly says, currently I eat a lot of homemade tofu, beans, and broccoli, also other greens. Thanks, I do drink shakes as well, not vegan, just no meat. Okay, gotcha. So I'm curious to know, so when you say no meat, do you do fish? Because fish is a great source. It's not plant-based, but fish is a great source of protein, Salmon with the healthy fats, that's pretty good as well. And you can do the white fishes. They're pretty lean. I do shrimp every day. Shrimp is a great source of protein that's low fat. Because for me, I did a standard like a moderate to high protein, high carb, low fat type diet. Standard bodybuilding diet, basically, right? And one of the tricky things to do, or is difficult to do, is to make sure you get enough protein while keeping the fat low, right? That's where a lot of people go wrong. A lot of people get too much fat, but not enough protein. The protein is low and the fat is high. So it's like a double whammy, basically. They don't have enough muscle building protein, stuff to keep them satiated, and they get way too much fat. That's a good point there. Tamika, what did Tamika say? Everybody's saying, laughing out loud, Tamika. Let's see. Oh my gosh, B. Pauly, you have a clay mask on. Marry me. Yeah, man, B. Pauly, Tamika's really trying to get you to call in. Yes, Tamika's a funny lady, man. You should have seen her in other shows, B. Pauly. You missed out on that. I agree. Whole Foods is great. I had great experience with Whole Foods. They're great with the customization. A lot of people don't know that. I get if I buy a rotisserie chicken there, kind of like I mess up on my cooking or just want something different. They'll cut it up for me. They'll slice it up, and because I just like the leg and thighs, I don't want the chicken breast. Yeah, I know it's the healthier part, whatever. I just love the leg and thighs, and they'll customize it for me. My steaks, I'll get them cut in half. I get the grass-fed steaks, and because their marbling is not a lot like your regular steak, it's hard to cook it a lot and it not get too tough because it's like a pound is too thick. So I get them to cut it in half. So it's 2 thin pieces. So I cook both of them at the same time. Works out great. Yeah, Whole Foods is great with that stuff. I know the nickname used to be Whole Paycheck, but since Amazon bought and the prices have gone down quite a bit, seafood can still be expensive. Just buy it on sale. And beef. Those 2 things are still expensive, but everything else is pretty affordable, right? Yes, this is a good video idea. I agree. Best items to buy from Whole Foods. Yep, you could do a shopping trip there. That is true. I have to check. I wonder if I need permission. Probably not. But hey, yeah, it's a good idea. I think I'm gonna do it because that'd be fun for me. Forget just filming the video. That'd be fun for me to do. No fish now, but I will add it back in maybe 2 times a week. Yeah. Generally, you want to get those omega-3, omega-6, that really healthy set of fatty acids, and in the right ratio, which is what fish have, 2 to 3 times a week. I take a fish oil supplement every day. I took like a teaspoon to a tablespoon of Carlson's fish oil, great brand, well known. Because I don't eat a ton of fish per se, but if you get those wild caught salmon, that is great. Eat that 2-3 times a week. I mean, fish oil has so many health benefits. Like, what doesn't it do? Right? Fish oil is fantastic for health. And it helps with your workouts as well, right? And the first time I started taking fish oil years ago, I immediately noticed the difference in recovery. Immediately noticed the difference in recovery. That is very good for anti-inflammation, right? Great for that. Great for that. Skincare do's and don'ts. I agree with Coach Kirk with the fish. It helps me meet my protein macros without going over the fat with chicken. Yes, yeah. Again, I assume skincare do's and don'ts talking about leaner fish, right? Like I said, one of the difficult things is to get the protein high enough without the fat getting too high, right? Angelique, Whole Foods have small packages of each of their plant-based protein, and you can start with that and figure out which one you like and then buy the big one. Wow, that's a great idea. Thank you, Angelique. So B. Pauly, I think this is even better advice than what I gave you. What Angelique says is better advice. Check out these little small packages at Whole Foods. Yeah. So you can just give it a try. See if you like the flavor or not. And then buy the bigger one. Great point. Thank you, Angelique, for that. Great point. So B. Paul is promising to call and come up in another show. All right, you ladies will have to hold him honest on that. I will rely on the ladies to do that. Igwe's daughter. Yes, we'd love to see you, B. Pauly. See, I tell you, man. Ladies want to see you on, B. Pauly. Don't disappoint the ladies next time. What did I say? Hell had no fury like a woman scorned. Yeah, so you better be ready next show, B. Pauly. Positive therapist, B. Pauly, you can do it. Tony, welcome to the show, Tony. Coach Kirk, what do you think about weekly workout boot camps? Well, I think they're both good and bad. Where am I going with this? The actual workouts are good, right? Pretty good. One problem I can have with some of these things is that, how to put it? So you run the risk of overdoing it first things first, if it's really some high intensity type stuff. And they're not very personalized, meaning, let's say a trainer can train you by yourself for $100 in an hour, right? Just making up something. Or the trainer could train you and 29 other people for $30 an hour. That's 100 versus 900, right? So what do you think trainers want to do? They want to shove a bunch of people in a class, just like a regular gym. Regular gyms don't make money off people like me or B. Pauly. They make money off all those people in the classes. They shove a whole ton of people in the class, and there's me, and I assume B. Pauly before COVID or whatever, in a gym. They're not making money off of us. They're making money off of the people in the class, because in that small amount of space, they can ram a ton of people. When that class is over, another set comes in, another set comes in, another set comes in, right? So by and large, those classes are very popular, especially with the ladies. And people have these big transformations at first because they go from nothing or a little of something to intense. And if there's some kind of nutrition program with it, they almost always just slash calories. So you, oh my God, I look great, I'm transforming. But you usually don't hear about these people again. Like, they don't give an update a year later, 2 years later, stuff like that. So I would rather somebody, if they're getting a trainer, get something one-on-one, let's say, something very personalized to them, or just go to a gym. Or you can do what B. Pauly is doing at home. You can create your own workout camp. I know, again, they're popular because people love the group effect, and there's a benefit. It's, you're more likely to show up. There's positive peer pressure, not negative peer pressure. They're like, come on, guy, come on, you can do it. Like when I did CrossFit, it was great. You look forward to it. If you're missing, they ask you where you were. There's pressure to show up and perform in a good way. Very good pressure. So that's the positive, but there's also that negative about the boot camp thing. So all in all, it has some positives. Let's consider that a good way to start working out. But again, the best looking physiques are usually not doing just in boot camps. They're in a gym somewhere, usually, right? So it has its pluses and minus. To me, it's a little bit more on the minus side than the plus side. Let's consider that gateway to better workout practices or workout environment, I would say. Positive therapist. As a child, we had to line up and take cod liver oil. Yeah, I remember cod liver oil when I was a kid too. Cod liver oil is healthy though. It does have some health benefits. Hey Kirk, I hear pros and cons, B Polly again, and about eating wheat products. What do you think? I say do not eat wheat products unless you're gonna get it sprouted. You know, you can get it from Whole Foods or any kind of healthy place. The grains, you want them sprouted, which makes it easier for your body to digest. But here's the thing, right? Especially depending on your ethnic background. If you're of European ancestry, you've been doing wheat for a very long time. If you're of African ancestry, you haven't been doing wheat that long. Not that long at all, right? So you can do a simple experiment if you're currently having wheat-based products. Stop doing that for like a month. Then reintroduce them. It wouldn't shock me if you have a negative reaction to them. I remember my brother did that. Definitely had a bad reaction when he reintroduced things. As I'm several people, it's kind of like if you stick your hand now, right, with your finger to the point where it hurts, like your fingernail. If you left that there for months, years, after a while it becomes background noise. You don't notice this. If you remove it and then you stick yourself again, you go, oh, ouch. You'll notice that. That's what happened with wheat and some of these things. When they're creating all this internal inflammation. There's this great book called Wheat Belly. I forget the name of the doctor who did it. Fantastic book, right? And that opened my eyes to a lot about wheat. The wheat today is not like the wheat from a couple centuries ago. Like I believe he gave an example, somebody who was seriously gluten intolerant, like they'd be hospitalized if they get anything with gluten in it. And that's another problem with wheat, right? The gluten in it. And went to Cairo and they had some ancient grain from Cairo University or some a lab back there, and he could eat it without a problem, right? So modern wheat is so modified that it resembles nothing like ancient wheat. So I would stay away with it. Again, there's so many things you can eat. But if you insist on your bread, get the sprouted bread. Get that sprouted bread. And ironically, white bread is better than wheat bread. I mean, back in the day, it used to be like, oh, white bread is the worst. Wheat bread is healthy. No, it's actually white bread is better than wheat bread, actually. So, yeah. But yeah, do that experiment. If you're currently doing the wheat products, right? I could say try that experiment. Remove it for a couple of weeks and then reintroduce it. You may notice your bowel movement change, or you're going more frequently to the toilet, or something else. Maybe a breakout, skin breakout, or something. I'm not a big fan of wheat at all. Angelique, hey, plant-based diet is hard at first, but you figure out what you like as you get better. I definitely got creative with my food. Yes, Angelique is successfully a plant-based person, right? And I think she hit the nail on it when she said it's hard at first. This is what I'm saying with these lifestyles. They can be done, but they're more tricky, right? Because it's easier just to go out and eat from any form of food type, right? And you can look good or be healthy because you're just hitting your macros. If you want to do a specific course, only a certain type of food, whether you're on the carnivore diet, I'm only going to eat meat, or you're vegan, I'm only going to eat veggies, right? Or somewhere in between, you'll do fish, but you're pescatarian, but you don't want to do meat or whatever. The more you limit yourself to one shot, it can be done. You just need put more effort into it to make sure you can find the meals you need. Also, that you have no nutrient deficiencies. I know sometimes with vegans, they can say B12 deficient. They can have copper toxicity. You just have to. It's difficult, for example, to be vegan if you're not supplementing. Generally speaking, and food today are so nutrient. The soil is so nutrient depleted that you can have some issues with the food you eat in the sense that it's not giving you everything you want. So usually a good multivitamin is a good thing to get as well. B. Paulie, I use True Athlete brand, plant-based protein powder. Okay, nice. Okay, let's see. It's a good one by Skincare Do's and Don'ts. A lot of the weekly boot camps are extreme with the workouts and diets. One I saw had a plan where people were eating a slice of bread and a hard-boiled egg for breakfast. Damn. Yeah. This is kind of what I'm getting at. They usually, any of these programs or cabbage diets or this or that, at the root, they have a lot of similarities. Even when I did the show in Noom, Noom, even with technology, is essentially just another fad that you remember one of the scandals with Noom was they're customized, but so many people that were giving this 1,200 calorie diet, even women who were like breastfeeding or something, which is insane, right? And there was this dude who was a super fit guy, like 6 foot tall, like was telling him to eat 1,200 calories, and he was working out like 6 times a week. Nonsensical. All these things have a common thing in that they're going to give you some super duper low calories. If you are starving, you know what you lose weight, guaranteed. That's what they do with torturing people, right? They starve them in some of these prisons all over the world. They starve people. If they starve them, you'll shrink. You're starving. Your body will start to cannibalize itself. But it's not healthy. And then you throw exercise on top of it, you lose even more weight. But again, it's not healthy, right? That's why you see so many of these. I've met so many ladies over the years telling me, so and so did this in boot camp. And I'm like, well, what are they now? How do they look? Oh, I don't know. Or yeah, they put on the weight again. Yeah, I'm not surprised. And usually you're worse off than before. That's the problem, right? It's very counterintuitive, but if you don't eat enough, you're not good. If you're hungry, you need to eat. That's your body telling you. Think about it. You worked out, you bust your ass, and you're hungry, and your purpose is trying to not eat. I mean, unless you're you're dieting for some specific show or something like that, that's your body saying, please feed me, please feed me. And if you keep ignoring those signs, your body's going to punish you. Your stubborn ass is going to be punished, right? It's like sleep. What's that famous saying? If you cheat on sleep, her twin sister death will avenge her. You can't get away burning the candle at both ends, man. Got to get that sleep in as well. Tamika says, yes, I got sucked into those boot camp things before. Funny, not very fit. Funny, not very many fit women in those groups, though. Yes, that is true. You know, sometimes with some of these class things, you'll see it in the gym, back to the trainer thing. You'll see somebody doing, I don't know, what is yoga class or spin class or something. And if you objectively look at this person, you said to yourself, if I saw this person out on the street, would I even know that they worked out? If you saw them in normal clothing, would you think he or she exercised? Think about that for a second. The answer in many cases is no. They don't look like that they exercise. And this person is giving classes, which means they're most likely are exercising outside the class and they're training in a class. So they're getting a ton of exercise. And they still don't look like they exercise, which means either they're undernourished, not eating the right stuff, overtraining, or they just don't know what the hell they're doing. Or all of the above, right? Or all of the above. Igwe's daughter, cod liver oil is healthy and great for the immune system function, cellular growth, eye health, and reproduction. Still tastes like crap, though. You know, I never used to mind my cod liver oil, but I'm kind of weird like that. I don't mind my fish oil either. I don't know if at least I shouldn't say I don't know. I do know. Psychologically, once I think something is good for me, it can make it taste better, or at least I ignore the badness of how it tastes. I'm kind of weird that way. Positive therapist, I commend you, B. Polly, for engaging in the chat, sharing, and asking questions. I agree. Very interactive for the first time viewer. Thank you. I agree as well. Let's see. Tamika, I could be wrong. Many of those fit women in those groups are just trying to maintain in an environment with other women. Many of them are in mothers groups. Okay. That's a very good point. They're not trying to get fitter, but they already, yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it. That's an interesting point. Well, I do know for sure, it's another angle of what you're saying is, because I've asked this about people before, and they talk about like say Zumba class, and they say, oh, my Zumba class teacher looks great. I'm like, okay, ask her, did she do Zumba class to look great? The times that has happened, the answer has always been no. And I've asked them before, like, did you do Zumba to look like that? She'd be like, no. No, you're not Zumbaing your way to a hot ass body. I can tell you that. It's like you're not, as a dude, going on the elliptical machine to get muscles. That ain't happening either. Building on that, at least the groups of women who work out in a group with a trainer in my neighborhood are all in the same mothers group. They meet 3 days a week at the school in the neighborhood. Okay, cool. Yeah. This is true. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here. Gonna do like a last call for those people who are willing to call in, to call up. Again with Robert Pattinson, I think you can definitely look like this for sure. It's definitely work. It's definitely for work. Definitely for work. Definitely could work. But you got to put in that work, right? Got to put in that work. You got to be focused for a good period of time. It didn't take you 6 weeks or 6 months to go the wrong direction with your body. So I know I wish I could have transformed quicker too. I wish I could have. But I did not. And you can't do it healthily, unfortunately. Not unless you got incredible genetics. That's just different. If you got incredible genetics, then sure you can do that. But yeah, most people don't have incredible genetics. Nope, nope, nope. Most people do not have incredible genetics. Them not have great genes. Them wasn't the lucky, you know what. Yeah, I like this. A good way to sum things up in a sense. This was a great show. Loved hearing how this was Patterson, stood his ground and did it the natural way. Very inspiring. I agree. It's pretty inspiring. Yeah. He did not, it's clear from what he looks like, he didn't go the pharmaceutical aid route. At least it doesn't appear that way. So I actually believe him. Yeah, Rain says Patterson did a good job building himself despite struggling with it. I agree. Yeah, this stuff is difficult, man. It's not easy at all. Right? And those pictures of him working out, he really was busting his ass. And if he's taking sips, counting his sips of water, he's not exaggerating. I've heard that before for people who are stepping on stage. Every little nibble, every little bit counts, right? Skincare do's and don'ts. Transforming definitely takes time. I agree. You can't. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? That's the age-old saying. Rome was not built in a day. So yeah, that is a great point. I agree. So okay, so we don't have anybody calling in tonight. B. Paulie has promised you ladies that he will call in the next time he's here. No pressure, B. Paulie. No pressure. All right. Well, again, in summary, like I said, make that lifestyle change. Don't try to just diet. You want whatever you're eating now, you should be able to eat 6 months, a year from now. That way you'll keep at it. You won't just quit and blow back up again if you're trying to lose weight. Or if you're trying to maintain, then again, you want something that's mentally sustainable. Food that you like to eat, not food that you don't want to eat. And workouts that you like to do, right? No matter what it is. If you don't like it, you're going to probably suck at it. Or even if you don't suck at it, eventually you're going to quit it. You're going to go from being indifferent to hating it. Then you're just going to stop and, yeah, end up in a bad space, which we do not want. Don't want that for anyone, right? So, yeah, it is motivating for anyone who's struggling or has struggled. Yep, I agree. So thanks to all the new people. Oh, thanks, B. Paulie, for hitting the notification bell. That's another thing, There's the one thing about YouTube that's not intuitive. When you subscribe, you got to hit that bell to then click the bell for all notifications. Ironically, I didn't know this till I started doing YouTube myself, right? So I was trying to figure out why some people say, yeah, I don't get notifications for videos. Like, really? And then I finally figured out you got to hit. I realized I wasn't getting notifications for other channels' videos that I like watching. Like, again, Greg Duchette. Got to hit that bell and hit it again, basically, to get all notifications. So, again, great show tonight, guys. I learned some new things myself, which is probably the number one surprise from starting a YouTube channel is how much I'm learning myself, which I greatly appreciate. And again, I appreciate all those super chats. Thanks so much. I appreciate the love and the support. So, later's my massive. Me galang now. So for those of you who don't speak Jamaican patois, that's goodbye, my people. Peace.